unboxing this high-tech sci-fi lamp. Looks kind of strange, doesn't it? But it'll make for interesting video, that's for sure. So this is a Ott Light wireless series. Ooh. It's got the wireless charging, and here's what's interesting to me. It says, where is it? Sanitizing disinfection. What? It's a table lamp. Purify LED sanitizing lamp with wireless charging. Okay. So it can do wireless charging. There it shows right here, charging a cell phone. Alright. Kills bacteria. Patented design. And it shows little cartoons of various bacterias. Okay. And it's USB, reduces glare and eye strain. Okay. Clear sun LED technology. Very interesting. Choose from clear sun only, clear sun plus, sanitize, or sterilize only. Modes each with free brightness levels. I don't know about this. This, okay. Charge. Vertically or horizontally wireless charging and USB charging port. Okay. I wonder if this fancy thing comes with a power brick or not. We're going to find out now, aren't we? Adjust. Yeah, it's adjustable. Big whoop-de-doo there. LED life 40,000 hours. Yeah, we'll see about that. Brightness settings free. Color rendering index plus minus 95. I don't know. Wireless charging up to 5 watts. USB charging port, 5 volts, 2.1 amps. Height adjusts 14 inches to 26 inches. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. A bunch of technical jargon. Made in China? Yeah, I'm sure we probably knew that. Hey there, everybody. We are unboxing the Ott Light sanitizing light with USB wireless charging. And the box says it has 3 different brightness levels, And here it's got cute little cartoons of the bacteria it supposedly disinfects or kills or whatever it is it's supposed to do. Okay. I'm not so sure I'm believing that it actually does anything to bacteria, or if this is just, clever marketing to sell a $10 product for $25. And by the way, who likes the shirt? Let's get into this, shall we? Alright. Ah, China smell, don't you love it? Who is that? It's Train Man 109. Who do you think it is? Alright. If someone's been in here before, you got all the protection all loose and falling off of it. Okay. Here's some more protection all loose and falling off. Man. They really ought to invest in some higher quality protection. This protection just falls right off. Um, la 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 la. Okay. A box. Wonder what's in the little box within the big box. What do you think it might be, huh? Could it be a power cord that they were too cheap to, wrap it up nice and put a twist tie around it? I guess this goes along with that quality control of their protection that falls right off on first use. But we got ourselves a power cord, stretching it out. 5.5 foot long, roughly. Okay. What's the output of this thing? Output 12 volts, 2.5 amps. All right. Input 1 amp. 1 amp of AC power. Okay. Oh, we got. It comes with a little book that I won't read because, I'm a man. Why would I read instructions? I don't need them for nothing. Chunk in the trash that goes. Alright, here's the. Kind of looks like a Dyson now, doesn't it? Got the similar shape. Where's the Sci-fi turbo fan on this thing? Huh. Looks like a Dyson, but it doesn't blow. Bummer. Okay. But it does things a Dyson. Uh-oh. I broke the Dyson, y'all. Uh-huh. Yep. I ruined that Dyson. Okay. It's my opinion. I wouldn't use that. Well, you gotta live a little. Okay, and we put the shiny bit into that dark hole right there, because that's where shiny bits belong, and dark holes where they will never be seen again. There you go, and a satisfying click. That is secure. And here's the USB charging, conveniently located at the back of the unit. And all the FCC hoopla. Okay. Tap, charge, options. Interesting. Okay, let's plug this disaster into the wall and hope we don't burn the house down, okay? How does that sound? And don't you worry, I'll change the camera here in just a second so you can see the things I'm a-doing. There, you see? There we are. There's the lamp. Now I gotta wiggle myself around. Maybe you want to see this too, don't you? Your YouTube, you want to see everything. That's the purpose of being on this YouTube now, ain't it? And I reached down here, unplugged that. We don't need that no more. That may have been running the Wi-Fi. Oops. That might interfere with some of my operation now, won't it? Huh. So if I suddenly go offline, you'll know it's because I just unplugged the Wi-Fi so I can plug in the lamp. Yeah, now we've got that sorted out. Let's get the lamp plugged in here. Well, it's not making any fireworks. There's no sparks flying. There's no smoke puffing. maybe we'll be alright. Maybe this cheap Chinesium will do what it's supposed to do and not smoke me out of the house tonight. That might be an ideal situation, don't you think? Okay, and now because I'm a man and I don't need no instructions, let's just push buttons and see what happens. That sounds like a great plan, don't you think? Alright, so there's only one button on this here hoopty device. Let's give it a tap. Alright. It's doing something now, ain't it? Oh, and look at here. It's got the sci-fi little streak on it. Alright, that way we can get all them lens flares like in the latest Star Trek movies. Got it. That's excellent. And let's push the button again and see what happens. Oh, it got brighter. Okay. And again, oh, brighter still. Now it's on turbo blind yourself mode because you don't need that night vision. That night vision's for suckers. You don't need that mess. No. Let's push the button again. Hey, it got dark in here. But now because I had on that turbo mode, I can't see nothing, which means I'm surely going to walk into a wall and break my toe, and I'm going to sue these guys because they blinded me in my night vision and I stubbed my toe. That sounds like the path to success to me. Alright, let's push the button again. It comes on again. Now this says something about holding that button for 3 seconds and something might happen. Well, let's see about that. 1, 2, oh. Alright. See, now we got ourselves a grow light. So we can grow that fine cannabis on our nightstand. That sounds like a great plan to me. Yep. Let's push that button again. It got brighter. Okay, now we can grow a bigger plant. The small mode grows you a small plant. The medium mode grows you a medium plant. Let's see what happens here. Push the button again. Hey, it gets brighter again. See, now we can grow a small, a medium, and a large pot of pot on our nightstand. This is amazing stuff right here. Okay, and push it again, and it goes away. Alright, let's see what happens. What do you think will happen if I push that button again? Here we go. Pushing, oh come on now. Pushing that button. Hey, it came back on. And it stayed where it was the last time I pushed the button. This thing's got a little brain built into it, y'all. This is cool stuff right here. I push the button again. It goes to that medium setting, and what happens if we push that button again? It goes to the bright setting for growing your large plants. Alright. And then we try the 3-second thing again, see what happens here. 1, 2, hey. And we're back to a regular light. Alright. And it defaults to the blind yourself mode, I do believe. So we push it again, and it goes off. Now wait a minute, why did it go off and not go through the brightness modes? I gotta play with this. Alright, so let's push the button, it comes on. Now it's in low mode. Push that button again, medium, bright, off. Now what if I just want to turn it on and off? You know, see, I've got this as a bedside lamp. What if I just want to turn it on and off? I gotta adjust the camera, y'all. My neck's getting sore from all that crouching over. Okay, that's more like it right there. Okay, so what if I just want to simply turn it on and off? Because, you know, it's a bedside lamp. The main purpose of a bedside lamp is so I can get up at 2 a.m., turn on the light, so I can see where I'm a stepping, so I don't break my toe when I run into that wall, and I won't have to sue the company that made this fine piece of machinery. So let's see if we can figure out how to turn it on and off without having to go through all them settings. Alright, so let's tap that button again. There it is, it's on. Tap it again, medium, bright, off. But what if I just went on and off? How does this happen, y'all? Okay, push the button, on. What if I hold it for a few seconds? What would happen then, I wonder? 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. It just seems to infinitely cycle through its little modes. Fellas and fellettes, you know, I just want, and this is common of flashlights too, I've noticed. A lot of modern day flashlights you can't just have on and off anymore. You've got to go through the on mode, the strobe mode, the blind yourself mode, the SOS mode, the black light mode, the panic mode, and then you get to off. And if you want to turn that light on again, you got to go through that whole cycle all over again. Why can we not have the technology we had 10 years ago where you hit a switch and it goes on and off, and there's none of this confusion involved? See, that's what I want to know. Okay, so I push that button again, it goes to medium, and I push it again, and it goes into turbo, blind yourself, break your toe when you go into that night vision mode, which is right here. And bam! You break that toe and you run into the wall. Now you're going to sue the people that made this here machinery. Guys, I just want a simple on and off. Why is this so complicated? I don't understand this. But anyway, you know, for the price of this here device, I really can't complain for the price. You see, someone I know got it for free, and the person that got it for free is so belovedly attached to it that they said, yeah, it's never been unpacked, but you're welcome to unpack it because I'm just belovedly attached to the free space lamp I got here. You can unpack it and you can use it for a few nights because I ain't using it. You can't keep it, but you can borrow it. That tells me how impressionable this piece of fine machinery was on its original recipient for the fine price of $0, 0 cents. You can't complain too much now, can you? But I do sure wish that there was a simple on and off. I mean, and that disinfecting business, I just don't know that I believe any of that. That's just, I don't know about that. I really don't. That seems to me like they just put extra LEDs in the thing to drive the price, to make all of us look more dumb as the consumer. I mean, well, maybe you can use it as a grow light, maybe, possibly, I don't know. I don't think it would work well. I think buying a proper grow light would probably cost half the price of this stupid thing. But, you know, and it's got the wireless charging on it. That's right in this area. That's what the little shelf in the bottom is for. To hold your pocket-sized pacifier, if you will. Because all us human beings, we need that pocket-sized pacifier. You know, we are completely defenseless without the pocket pacifier in this modern day and age. You do realize that now, don't you? You gotta have that pacifier, because even in the workplace, y'all, where there are company phones and company walkie-talkies, no. you can't use that company phone. You've got to have the pocket pacifier to contact other people with the pocket pacifier to say, hey man, the lights aren't working today, Mr. Boss Man. Could you contact someone who knows how to change a light bulb? Because I hadn't been through the training class for that sort of activity. Yeah, and that might be an OSHA violation, you know. Oh, come on now, man. You gotta have that pocket pacifier, or you ain't nobody in this modern day of age. You realize that now, don't you? It's insanity out there. But anyway, now I'm getting off topic. Back to the point of this here video. You see, it's only got one button. You push the button, it gets brighter. You push that button again, it gets to that turbo mode. You push it again, you in the dark. So I prefer, well, I prefer a simpler way of life. And let me demonstrate my point. I'm going to spin y'all around and point you up to the sky. Right there. See, this is my version of technology right here, y'all. You see this? Watch this. Oops. There's the wrong one. Ignore that. Watch. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. Uh-oh. I think I broke old technology. Well, at least I got new technology on my side. With the new technology, where it goes from dim to medium to blind yourself, and then, wait for it, the bonus round, it leaves you in the complete darkness where you was just blinded by that extra bright light, and now you gonna stub your toe when you get up on the way of that restroom. You gonna break that toe, and you gonna be mad. You gonna want someone to blame, someone to be at fault. Who you gonna put at fault? The one that made this here device, and you gonna sue them, 'cause you broke your toe while you was trying to go to the bathroom at 2 in the morning. For shame. I don't think so, y'all. Ooh. Alright. I think I've babbled on about that stupid space lamp for long enough now, don't you? Now, for the next topic in today's video, I've got that shadow silhouette face. This looks perfect for telling them scary ghost stories now, don't it? Now, one time, I was in a public restroom at an undisclosed location. I'm not gonna say where because it's top secret and I'm not allowed to discuss it. But I can share with you what happened to me. You see, I was in a, we'll call it a large business establishment with, hundreds of employees. But this was on a particular slow day where there was maybe, I don't know, say 50 people there total. It was a slow day. It was an off day for most of the workers. So I was in a restroom by myself. And this is a restroom. It's got, I think I remember, there's 4 stalls in there. Okay? I was in one of the stalls doing my due, and I knew for a fact I was in that bathroom alone. Okay? And now, the bathroom door, the door that goes from the bathroom to outside the bathroom, is on a very heavy spring. So anytime someone opens that door, it'll either slam when they let go of it, or that spring will creak. So I'm in a quiet bathroom with just myself, and I know if someone opens that door to come in, I'll hear it. I'll either hear it slam or at least I'll hear the spring creaking, right? So I know I'm in there alone. There's no music, there's no radio, there's nothing. It's silent. There's just the sound of me sitting on the john doing my business. That's the only sound in that room, okay? I don't think the AC was even running at the time. It was quiet. So I'm sitting there on the john, and out of nowhere, literally nowhere, bam! I hear the loudest sound. And man, I finished what I was doing real quick. That sound spooked me and it made the rest of that business just flow out as fast as possible. You know what I'm saying? But what had happened is there's 4 stalls in a line, right? The ADA stall is the furthest stall from the door to the restroom. And me being lazy, because, I'm lazy, I picked the first stall, the one closest to the entry door, okay? The ADA stall door, 2 stalls down from where I was, slammed. And now I've heard stories, I've heard rumors for a long time before I even worked there of this place being haunted. But I tell you what, knowing you're alone in that room and hearing that door slam, I'll scare the shit out of you. And it did, quite literally. I finished up and I listened. I listened intently to hear if that door from the door to the restroom to the outside the restroom, I listened to hear if that door opened. It never did. I never heard any voices. I never heard any footsteps. All I heard was that ADA stall door slam, and now the AC was not running. There's no open windows. The place is haunted. It's legit. So I finished my business. I cleaned myself up, put my pants back on. I stood up and left the stall I was in. And before I even washed my hands, I walked and opened the other 3 stall doors. There wasn't nobody there. Now that creeped me out. Alright, so that's the end of my ghost story. Mr. Spooky, really enjoy your videos, man. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, what else we got? That's the only comment that looks interesting in here so far, but, hey, I already read the other ones a few minutes ago. Oh, thank you very much. Finding your channel was a gift. Alright. Hey, as long as I'm making somebody happy, I'm doing it right. That's the whole ideal here. Alright. Hey, I got some hearts. Alright. What's your favorite tool brand? You want to talk about tools, I see. Alright. Personally, about 80% of what I personally own is Craftsman. A lot of what I own is secondhand, like a solid 90% of what I own was not new to me when I got it, which I don't have an issue with that at all. Here, let me turn up the brightness a bit in here. Hey, now you can see me better. I've got, most of my hand tools are Craftsman. I bought a 5-piece DeWalt set, I don't know, 10, probably closer to 15 years ago now. And I still have the original batteries that I said it was a 5-piece power tool set. I still got the original batteries. So those are some tough batteries. They've been through a house remodel. I mean, we're talking gut the house and start over. Those batteries have been through that remodel and they're still trucking. Those I love those batteries. You know, I keep thinking to myself, one day I'm going to go to use it and those batteries just won't charge anymore. But nope, they keep on going. Um, I've got a DeWalt table saw. I've got a DeWalt. Uh, the table saw is a 10-inch job site saw. I've got a miter saw, 12-inch compound, swings in every direction you can imagine. I didn't get the sliding one because honestly, that's a little big for the kinds of things I do. You know, mostly what I do is like if you've seen the house videos, me make excuse me, me making that little model house. I don't need a giant saw to do that kind of work. What are you saying? Does that mean it's good for plants too? Are you talking about the lamp? I think the lamp could be used as a grow light. I don't think that's its intention. It's on the box. It says it's a supposed to sanitize, I guess, kill bacteria on your nightstand because you know you pick boogers at midnight and fling it over on the nightstand. You know, you gotta kill that booger bacteria. You know what I mean? What else you guys want to hear about tonight? Now I'm on a roll. I got things to talk about here. Come on, guys. What do you want to hear about? But yeah, anyway, most of my tools are second hand, third hand, fourth hand. What's your favorite video you have ever made? There's some really old ones on my channel. I restored a post drill, a hand crank drill press. There's a series of videos on those. If I remember right, it's a 5-part series. And again, if I remember right, that was sometime in 2017 when I did that. Hello. But those are my favorites. That is the proudest project I've ever done, was restoring that machine. And, you know, I spent probably a year working on that thing because I made a custom stand for it too. I'll make a video of it someday. I don't feel like going out to the shop tonight. Let me see if I got the iPad here. I can probably pull those videos up and show you the titles so you can find them. No. Content. Videos. Actually, no, I think I made a playlist of them. Playlist. Here it is. How long ago was this? Making myself feel old. September 3rd, 2013 is when I posted the first video. So here you go. Post drill assembly part 1. But yeah, those are my proudest videos, and you see I look so much younger there. And the video quality, it's a few years ago, the video quality is not the best, honestly. The narration, I've gotten better at it. But nonetheless, those are still my favorite videos. Something random. What can I talk about that's juicy and random? Because, it's got to be interesting or you guys are going to get bored. If I talk about, hey, I found a penny on the ground, oh, it's so lucky, ha. If I talk about that kind of thing, you guys are going to get bored and get bored fast, and I know it. Something random. I've got something random. Stick with the theme of my channel of talking about tools. Okay. So, not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, so a year and a half ago, right? Because we're in the middle of the year of 25. So a year and a half ago, an uncle of mine for Christmas gave me a little portable, you keep it in your car, tire inflator. Okay? And Christmas Day, sitting in his living room on his couch, I unboxed the thing, looked through, and oh wow, this is kind of cool. Thank you. And I put it back in the box. And then I stuck it in the back of the car and proceeded to forget about its existence for a year and 4 months, we'll say. So what, 16 months? And I'd been using a little 2-gallon compressor for inflating the tires at home. Because, car tires get low after a while, especially when season changes. But I put that thing in the back of the car and forgot about it. And then one day, I thought to myself, because I noticed the front driver tire was starting to get low. The car doesn't have those fancy tire pressure gauges that pop up on the dash. I don't have one of those screens built into the car. The car's from 2004, guys. We didn't have that tech at the time. But the car still runs and drives and gets great mileage, so hey, I keep on driving it. So I noticed the tire was getting low, and I thought, there's that portable pump thing that's been bumping around in the trunk for 16 months. And I'm at home and I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere, so if the thing just blows the magic smoke and doesn't work at all, at least I'm at home, I got the real compressor. What's the worst that can happen, right? I get that thing out and I unbox it. And maybe I'll make a video actually showing it one day. I get it out, I unbox it, I plug it in. And the one thing that annoys me about it is it defaults to bar instead of PSI. I get it, different parts of the world use different systems. This product was made in China. They want to market it to as many people as possible. So they include both bar and PSI. But I wish it would default into PSI instead of bar. But minor complaints. But anyway, there's plus or minus, you can set what the PSI you want. And the tire inflation range on the car I drive is anywhere from, I think it's 38 to 46 pounds, something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, I remember for certain I put 38 pounds on the pump, right? And I plug it in, I hook it to the tire, and I push the go button, and man, I didn't have to wear hearing protection. I didn't have to wait for that tank to inflate. You know, that's a good 5 minute wait, especially when you got a compressor that's probably as old as the car is. The compressor still works, but you know, it's getting up there in years. But that tire inflated in maybe 10 seconds. I was like, wow. You know, it's one of those, why why did I let that thing kick around the trunk for 16 months? I could have been doing this instead of wasting my time waiting on that compressor to, you know, charge up. This is great. And I did that one tire and I liked the compressor so much the other three tires didn't need it. But I went around to the other three tires and added, you know, a pound or two to each one just so I could continue playing with my new toy that I waited 6 months to treat my, 16 months to treat myself to. But yeah, next time I need to inflate tires, forget the compressor. You can save that compressor for the nail guns and the air tools. But when I need to inflate me some tires, I'm using that pump. That little thing's awesome. And what's really cool about it is it has two different power cords. There's one that plugs into your standard cigarette lighter inside the car. That's mainly for the, oh crap, my tire's flat and I'm not home. At home, what I usually do at home is I like to use house power. I don't want to really use the car battery unless it's not a choice. You know, I want that battery to live as long as possible because they ain't exactly cheap. What's this channel for? Good question. I'm trying to mostly focus on tools and hacks and tips and that sort of thing. Like today I did a lamp unboxing. Here, I'll show you. There's the little lamp I unpacked today. It's not even mine. I was borrowing it from someone. But they never unpacked it and they said, yeah, sure, you can borrow it. I don't care. I'm like, okay. But mostly I like to focus on tools and, you know, that kind of thing. That's what I'm interested in. Hey man, I really like your shorts. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, in recent couple weeks, I've got 3 shorts that have hit 1 million views. That's just kind of twisted my mind a little to imagine that 1 million people have watched me. That's crazy. I never imagined that. You know, I have always, when I started doing this, that was my goal, to get to numbers like that, but to actually see it happen, just wow. What else we got? That's nice, bro. Keep up the hard work. Hey, thank you. Anything else? This story was really interesting. What would you like to hear me babble about? Hey, I've got 30 years worth of stories up in here. How about a short one? It's tool related, but it's kind of brief. I was helping tools. Yeah, don't worry, there's a tool story coming. I was helping someone do some network cabling. You know, not really computer work, but just helping run the physical cabling through an office building. It was a Cat 6E, in case you're that nosy. But it was a space that had been remodeled and they added some new desks in the space. and so they need cable run, okay? And the person I was with, and it's drop ceiling, your typical office space with the drop ceiling. Person I was with was up on the ladder, and I was on the ground feeding the cable out of the boxes to make sure it didn't. What I was really doing is making sure, keeping tension off of it so it wouldn't slice on the grid as it went up into the ceiling. And the person on the ladder popped up one ceiling tile, and you know, we're guys, we're nosy, it's what we do, right? You pop up a ceiling tile in a place you've never seen before. Of course, you chicken head around and look around. I wonder what I can see here. The person I was with said, "Hey, I found treasure. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Well, what is it? You know, is it something good, or is it a expired rat stuck in the ceiling? I mean, are you messing with me, or is it something I might actually want?" So, guy comes down the ladder with something in his hand and holds it out to me. "Here, have a well-loved tape measure." Those were his exact words. "Have a well-loved tape measure." And I still have the thing. It's either a 25 or a 30-foot DeWalt tape measure. And you know how some of those tape measures have that rubber molding soft grip stuff around them? Most of that is cut away or torn away or who knows. And it's a DeWalt tape measure. Um, the DeWalt sticker is ripped off, and the tape itself is rusty and split, and it's obvious that some contractor got tired of using the thing and just left it up in the ceiling. "Here, I'm too lazy to even throw this piece of junk away. Here, it's somebody else's problem now." So I got me a free to me DeWalt tape measure out of that situation. Because the guy I was with, he didn't want the thing. He's got his own tape measures. So he gave it to me. Eh, that's kind of a short one, but that's what I got. Uh, hmm. What else can I ramble about? I do wonder. I don't want to talk about work too much. Work is kind of boring. I mean, we all have to suffer through a job now, don't we? Let's talk about not work. What's your craziest story? Well, I've got some that probably shouldn't be shared with the world. I'm trying to think which ones are the least, how should we say this, the least troubling? I don't know. Oh, I can think of one. Something that happened to my personal family. Earlier in this live, I was talking about remodeling a house. This happened in the same house. We did some of the work ourselves, but the big things like HVAC and plumbing and that kind of thing, we hired out. Because we're good at DIY, but not we're not a group of professionals. Most entertaining. Hey, thanks. Doing my best to be entertaining. But anyway, we went through a contractor, and I won't say the guy's name. You know, I don't want to hurt someone's reputation. But the contractor hired an HVAC company, right? The HVAC company, I don't know where these guys got their license because, yeah, some of their work was less than desirable. Let's just go with that. That to memory, now this is free coming up on 4 years ago now. To memory, they failed a city inspection at least 3 times on different things, but still. Um, so this is an older home, and we did a complete system replace. Okay, the new oh damn, I can't think of it, but a complete system replaced. The outside unit, the inside unit, all the ducting, everything replaced. All right. So new city code requires, and I don't remember the exact wording for it, but it was a fresh air intake. Okay, which I never fully understood because we have a gas heater in our home, which means there's a bit of the ceiling that's cut away and it's just chicken wire. So that way, if gas were to escape, it would just vent up into the attic and out through the attic vents, you know, hopefully reducing the chance of giving us all CO2 poisoning. So, city code required a fresh air intake, and the doofuses, yeah, I'll call them doofuses because they truly were. You know, we've already, as I explained, we got the chicken wire in the ceiling and it vents through the soffit vents, and we got a ridge vent, and we've got gable end vents. I mean, it's a well ventilated attic. You know, the house was built right. They got, you know, it's like a dryer vent cover where it's, you know, the 8-inch square, and it's got the 4 or 5 louvers that when the dryer comes on, the louvers fly out so the dryer can blow outside. Okay? So this thing is supposed to be an intake, but they got, meaning it's supposed to draw air from the outside in. They cut a hole in our gable end, you know, 2 foot below the gable end vents. They cut a hole and put this dryer vent on that only works if air blows from the inside out. And that's supposed to be our fresh air intake. And so my family and I looked at this and just kind of turned our heads sideways and laughed. It's like, no. That's, no. So we took pictures of it, called the contractor, said, hey man, this is supposed to be an intake, but it's essentially a one-way, you know, a one-way vent that only works for air going out. Okay? So what they do is the grumpy, flaky HVAC person comes back a couple days later, takes down the exit only fresh air intake, and puts up, so the original was like 8 inches square, okay? And they cut a hole behind it to fit, right? They take a new one that's just the louvers down a 45-degree angle. But the new one is a good 2 inches bigger in both directions. Still a square. It's a good 2 inches bigger, and it's got the mesh behind to keep the bugs out. But the louvers are wide enough that you can, if you're on the ground looking up, you know, it's, I'd say, you know, maybe 10 foot off the ground. If you're on the ground looking up, you can see up through those louvers. And you can see that they did not take the time to enlarge the hole behind this new intake. So, and they didn't even center it over the hole, okay? So, you can stand on the ground, look up, and clearly see that you got a 10-inch square covering an 8-inch circle that's up in one corner. these these guys, I tell you. And something else they did. We our Freon lines run through the wall and then exit. You know, you got the little flashing housing that comes out at, like, I don't know, a sharp angle, and the pipes come down through that. These guys, I didn't watch it happen, but I found it after they had left for the day. I swear they must have used an entire tube of silicone to hold that flashing on. I mean, there are beads as big round as my finger around that flashing. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you all shaky. But what state am I from? Texas, my friend. You know, in my shorts, something I've been thinking about doing in my shorts content, I want to get a Texas flag and pin it up on the wall. As you know, I wear my hat in the shorts. I'm going for the cowboy appearance. You gotta get to bed? All right. Well, you have yourself a good night, my friend. Hell yeah, I love the accent. Thank you. I love y'all's support. I truly do. So while we're on the topic of HVAC, so we had a complete HVAC system replace while we were remodeling the family home, okay? And the inside unit sits in a closet, and it's got a false floor, and you got your return air coming in under that false floor. There's a grate under the door on the wall outside this closet, a return air grate. And the base of the new unit was a slightly different size, so they cut like a 2x4 rectangle. They made a new rectangle to sit on top of, which they did a decent job of. I gotta give them that. Where they failed, however, is the old system had a square duct that went from the top of the unit up into the attic, and then it split into all the different air ducts that went throughout the house. The new one, they just used, I want to say 2-foot flex pipe. They used a 2-foot flex pipe off the top of the unit and then put the box that splits into all the different ducts in the attic. I guess to one of them it made more sense to do it that way. You know, the system works, the house stays heated and cool, you really can't complain too terribly much. But where they failed, and failed miserably, is there was a square duct and they replaced it with a round duct, which means suddenly in the ceiling, and yes, the city inspector did want this fixed. This isn't me blowing smoke. This is something the inspector truly wanted fixed. There was, you know, corners around the duct where you could just poke your hand up and touch in the attic, right? The city inspector said, no, you can't have holes like that. It's got to be sealed. Okay. You know, not a big deal, right? Just call the drywall guy. Hey, we need some holes patched. I mean, you know, this shouldn't be that complicated, right? So, what our slimy, good-for-nothing contractor did to solve this problem? So, these holes, gosh, the holes must have been like the size of a paint can, right? Of a 1 gallon paint can, the lid of that. You got two holes that size in our ceiling. Our good for nothing slimy contractor sent the subcontractor, the HVAC guy, over to our house with a couple of cans of spray foam with instruction: fill those holes that are good, 6, 8 inches round, two holes. Just pack them holes full of spray foam. And thank goodness I was in the house when this happened, because the our main contractor told the subcontractor, the HVAC guy, I'm not going to pay you until those holes are filled. But he's an HVAC guy. He's not a drywall guy. He's an HVAC guy. Call the drywall guy to fix the drywall. I mean, okay. And maybe that's part of why their quality of work wasn't the best, is because the head contractor was just writing them, getting them to do things they really shouldn't have been doing in the first place. They're there for HVAC, they're not there for drywall. So, this HVAC guy's in the house to fix two 6 to 8 inch circle holes in our ceiling with spray foam. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. I'm not a professional drywaller, but I do know how to at least cover a hole. And I mean, and these holes are in a closet. How perfect does it really have to be? It's in a utility closet. This is the closet that has our HVAC system and our water heater. That's all this closet is for. So who cares if the drywall is perfect? Just put it in, spread it smooth, and put keels on it and call it a day, which is what I ended up doing. And I explained to the HVAC guy, I said, no, you didn't make those holes, that's not your problem. And he didn't make those holes. Those holes were left because the previous system fit differently than how the new system fit. That's not his fault. So I told him, I said, no, I'll take care of the holes, don't worry about it. And he got a little defensive and said, well, the main contractor said I'm not going to get paid until those holes are filled. And I said, no, we're not filling the holes with spray foam. I'm going to, today, I personally am going to take care of those holes. And I sent the guy away. And I fixed the holes that day. The city inspector came by the next day, gave it the okay. And our ceiling actually looks like a ceiling. It doesn't look like a cave system up there that's packed full of 3 or 4 cans of spray foam, however many it would have taken to fill those massive holes. So, yeah. I really, if there was one thing I could change about that whole construction experience, I would have YouTubed every day in that house after the workers had left. Oh man, I wish I would have done that. That would have been some stuff to watch right there. I really like how you tell your stories. Oh, thank you. I thought you were going to bed, my friend. Hey, go to bed, get yourself some sleep. Once this recording is done, I'll set it as public on my channel. You can come back and watch it whenever you want. You're just very entertaining. Thank you. Get you some sleep, my friend. I appreciate you watching, but get you some sleep. All right. What else can Mr. Train Man ramble about tonight? I wonder. What time is it getting to be? Whoo, it's 10:48. Wow. All right, guys. I'm at 65 minutes. It's just about bedtime. I typically crash around 11. I'm going to sign off. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night, everybody.